Hey, you better know what time we in. You better understand. This is the real clock. This is the real, timeline of Earth right here that's going on. The Ice Age, the Age of Leo. Right now, we are in the Age of Pisces going into Aquarius. You know what I mean? History and religion started being recorded in the Age of Taurus. The Age of Taurus has the least amount of electromagnetic radiation from the galactic center, which explains the reason why we had to cling to an emotional figure that we created in our minds in order to manufacture what we was missing coming from, the galactic center. Let me show you. Religion started in the Age of Taurus, right? The Ice Age started in the Age of Leo. So as you go from the Age of Leo and go up to the Age of Taurus, that's where we started religion as a global consciousness, you know what I mean? So then, as we get into right here, to where we at, we're passing the celestial equator again. We are right here in the middle where it says vernal equinox point. That's where we're going through right now, you know what I mean? So this vernal equinox point is coming out of that place in Gemini and Taurus where we didn't have a lot of radiation. Look at this one. This is a little chart I created, cosmic radiation exposure. The galactic center, which is located in Sagittarius A. So the age that has the most cosmic exposure coming from the galactic center is in Sagittarius, right? And Sagittarius is the timeline, is the age where you had Lemuria and super high-tech civilizations. By the time we got to the Age of Leo, all of that fell during the Ice Age. This is what I'm trying to explain to y'all. And then after the Ice Age, we get into the Age of Gemini and Taurus. That's the lowest amount of intelligence we are getting from the galactic center. You know what I mean? So during that time, we start writing and start charting down everything and created religion as an extension to the galactic center from my perspective. You know what I mean? But in the galactic center, there's a low exposure of frequency, and this is when a lot of distorted teachings were rooted into our mentality. You know what I mean? This is why somebody like a Christ and the Buddhas and the Elijahs had to be born to bring the light. And when they were born, they brought information that was prevalent in the old ages, like the Age of Leo, the Age of Sagittarius and Scorpio. Age Scorpio and Age of Leo, Sagittarius have the highest exposures of radiation. You know what I mean? So this is why every age has a different set of basically intelligence, basically archetype. Humanity itself has an archetype. Regardless of the races that exist, there's a fundamental archetype that exists over every age, which lasts for around 2,000 to 100 years. 2,100 years, basically. You know what I mean? And this age dictates the emotional, physiological, physical, and mental expressions, soul expressions of the humans on the planet. Right now, we're going to the age of moving out the age of Pisces, going into the age of Aquarius, which means humanitarianism. Age of Leo was the fall. This age of Aquarius is directly on the axis. This is the axis I'm talking about. As you can see, Leo and Aquarius are directly across from each other, which means that we are going back, restructuring what was lost in the age of Leo. You know what I mean? So a lot of the people here on the planet right now are actually incarnations of the ancient priesthoods that existed in the last era. You know what I mean? In the last era where it was giant pyramids and giants on the planet, it was a mystical, magical place in the age of Lemuria, which preferably the age of Lemuria obviously was in Sagittarius, Scorpio. When you get to around Libra, Virgo, and Leo, that's when you get into Atlantis. And that's when ego starts to creep in, you know what I mean? Because we start to get away from the light. Remember, Sagittarius has the most light coming from the galactic center, which means intelligence, which means coherence. Coming down to Virgo, we get to Taurus, beginning of recorded history. because we had to record history, preferably in the ancient systems, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Libra, Virgo. We didn't need to write down and scribe anything because information was directly pulled from the genetics of the mind. So we didn't need to scribe anything. Came straight from the crystals, you know what I mean? Came straight from the earth. So we didn't have to write it down. But now, since we get to the age of Taurus, people lose that electromagnetic sensitivity. They can't pull information from the earth no more. They have to write it down so the next generations can pick it up. You know what I mean? Now we get to the age of Aquarius. And as you see, the age of Aquarius is creeping up right there on the age of Sagittarius, Capricorn, Sagittarius. Once we get into those, that's the golden age again. This is when the crystal technology will revive itself. Intelligence, divine intelligence, sacred geometry patterns that exist throughout the universe will be taught in schools and taught how to manipulate matter. That's where we're going to, you know what I mean? It's like the way the book was written. It's just the way the book was written.